First, I want to thank everybody for coming. This past week, I've just kind of been going over in my mind what I thought I should do, and sit down with Coach Cable and my family, and I think it's time for me to move on and take my game to the next level. So I want to thank everybody. My coaches, my teammates, all our fans have been so great. Over the past 2 years, it's been awesome. Everything that, all the fans have done for us, and, I'll look back on my time at Oklahoma as a special time.
Questions for either coach or Blake Griffin?
Blake, I know how much you loved playing here at OU, but did this become such a point that you've always told me one of your dreams was to be the top pick in the NBA draft, and when it was clear that that's probably going to be the case, was this a foregone conclusion, or was this still a tough decision for you to make?
I think it was tough. This, like you said, I love playing here. This is my, this is my home state. This is a school that I wanted to come to, obviously. So it's tough to walk away from something like this, but at the same time, it's a big opportunity. I think, and I felt like I was ready for it this year, as opposed to last year.
Blake, what have you been told in terms of, have they said you'll be one of the top two, top one? Has anybody told you anything like that?
From everything I've heard, I'm looking at hopefully being one of the top picks. Obviously, I have to do well from here on out and impress whoever has the top pick and whoever has the top picks. So we'll see.
Your improvement from year one to year two was exceptional, and I assume that would continue. What are you looking back on it? What was the biggest thing that got you from year one to year two, to where you go from a real good player to the National Player of the Year?
Having a year to mature, mentally and also physically, and also putting in a lot of hard work over the summer were two big things. Also, that my teammates and our coaching staff working with me and helping me, because you can't do any of that by yourself. With our coaching staff working with me to kind of take some pressure off of me a little bit and help me understand, certain ways to do things that'll make it easier. Also having the teammates that I did that, allowed me to play the way we wanted to.
Jeff, you've always been straightforward with us, and from almost at the very beginning, at the start of the year, you said that you thought he was the best player in the country and might be the best, first pick. Then later on, you said odds are he's going to be the first pick in the draft. Talk about what role you played in this last week in advising him and finding out information about him.
Well, it really wasn't, a lot of me. It was, this is the right decision. It's in my mind, it's a no-brainer. It wasn't, a decision to really debate, because it's the right one, and it's the best thing for Blake. It's the best thing for the University of Oklahoma. It's the best thing for our program. This was a great day. It's sad on one end, but it's a great day. It's a really, really great day when you have a chance to know that a kid has worked his butt off in something that he's wanted to do his whole life, and he's going to have a chance to pursue it. And not only pursue it, but to be very successful. I remember when I got the job here and I was recruiting Blake. And, we talked about this day. We talked about having this moment and him not being a 4-year guy. I knew he wasn't going to be a 4-year guy. And I thought we could maybe get 2. So I think this is a great day for Blake, for his family, for the University of Oklahoma, for our basketball program. And I think he's going to be a better pro than he was a college player. And I know that because I know how hard he's going to work. And I think he just started, and you've heard me say this, I think he's just starting to scratch the surface of where he's going to become, of who he's going to become. And I'll tell you, he's the best player I've ever been around and coached, and he's probably one of the top 2 people I've ever been around or coached. And that's why I know he's going to be incredibly successful.
It's kind of not really a buzzword, but everybody mentions it so much, one and done anymore. Kids coming out of high school. What do you think it says about kids to have somebody like Blake that could have gone after a year but stayed and got better and elevated himself even more?
Well, you know, everyone's different. And one of the things, and you guys have heard me say this all year, Blake's a really, really smart guy with some of the things that people were doing to him this year. I thought he made a very smart decision last year to come back. Would he have been drafted high? Yes. But was he ready? And I know him. I mean, he wants to be able to have impact wherever he goes. And I think this year has prepared him to be able to go in and really have an impact on wherever he's drafted, whatever franchise or whatever team gets him. You know, for everybody, it's different. But again, I thought he made the best decision for him last year, and I think he's making the best decision for him today. And I'm happy for him, proud of him. I'm his 4th biggest fan. The other 3 are back there. And you know, we're going to be with him every step of the way.
Blake, the 3, of course, he's referring to your family, and you guys are so tight. And one of the reasons, I guess, that you came back this past year is because your brother was here playing. But if he were, would you come out if Taylor were back for one more year?
I hadn't ever thought of that because I don't know. I guess that's a good question. That would be a completely different situation. I guess so. You know, I'd probably have to take another week or so.
Blake, Jeff said that he believes you'll be a better pro. That's a different game. You know, I know it's basketball, but still it's a different game than the play at the college level. Talk about how your game will transcend there, and do you feel like you know, your game's ready to take off for the NBA?
I mean, you know, it's obviously going to be different, but I think the biggest thing for me is just learning when I first get there and learning how to be successful on that level, because, you know, all those guys up there are kind of on a different level, obviously. But what was the second part of your question?
Well, are you confident with what are you going to have to do to get the game where you feel like you're comfortable there?
I think this year has made me much more confident, especially much more confident than I would have been last year. The experiences that I went through this year, I think will help me for my road ahead. So, you know, I have no idea exactly what the future holds, obviously. So, I mean, I'm going to go into it optimistically, and I'm just going to work as hard as I can and improve as much as I can.
Blake, I think a lot of people would like to know, what would you think of the prospects of playing in Oklahoma City as a pro, too, playing for the Thunder?
You know, I mean, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'm not going to, you know, cry or be upset or anything like that. You know, it's not in my hands. This is something that, you know, somebody else, or, you know, it's not something I can control. So for me to worry about it or think about it too much, you know, it's kind of pointless in my eyes. But, you know, if it does happen, you know, I'm sure my parents will be happy.